some work with, again, using street art. Created some imagery with Black Lives Matter in Chicago. A spin-off of them was called We Charge Genocide. And what they were looking for was reparations because Chicago police had been employing a tactic since the Vietnam era of torturing people to get information. This is public record. You had somebody who from the Vietnam era was the head of the police department taking people of color to various buildings and torturing them for information. That's real. That's not Guantanamo. It's here in America. You know, against people of color. So when you think about cops and what their role is in all this, you know, they go hand in hand. If you look at the history of police, they were there implementing to catch slaves and bring them back to their masters. That's what the history of police is. You can research this on your own. You may have family members that are cops, whatever. But if you do the research, you'll find this out. And the same is true today. Not much has changed. So what we were asking for was reparations for the people who were tortured. Transformation now, breaking away the chains of slavery. And what does that look like as far as transformative justice? Those turn into butterflies. So I created some imagery. We went downtown Chicago, started teaching about street art. Getting kids involved, you know, teaching them how to make stencils. Again, people of color, frontline communities, teaching them how to screen print, and do everything like this. And so I figure if we get to the youth in time, you know, they'll have all these skills that, you know, we never had access to. There's Sears Tower. This is all stuff that the kids have made. We'll just go through these pictures now. Now we go to Oak Flat. Oak Flat. You guys know about it. It's great. Oak Flat is a community up north. Well, actually to the east of us, and a foreign mining corporation is actively looking to mine, put a 2-mile crater directly into the ground on this holy space that the Apache people had designated protected by a president from that. And that was all undone by John McCain under the guise of defense or whatever. So I created a banner using some graph. Also created some stickers, huge stickers. And you know, creating screen printing. And so what I wanted to do was basically take this imagery and use it in a way to, we're taking, again, this is going back to culture jamming, taking the government's own language, taking the government's own symbols and their signs and using it against them. The Apache are like, everyone knows they're a fierce warrior society, and what the shield represents is, you know, defending that land. You add some feathers on top of it, and it's actually, if they don't understand, the government, these corporations don't understand sacred land, holy land, cool, we're going to use your own language against you. That's what it is. So we spent days and nights creating imagery for this. And at the interest of time, I think I got 6 more minutes left. Again, stenciling, street art, using technology. Actually, speaking of technology, we had a blackout the night before, and all over DC. We had a screen print in the dark. We had candles, we had cell phones and stuff like that. But then we weren't going to let that stop us. We had a message, and we were going to convey it. So using these as wheat pastes, you know, out in the world. And what does this look like the night of? You know, I even created door hangers for the representatives of all these stuff. The little kids that were here. This is out in front of the Capitol building. Again, using symbols and language against them. Stop resolution power. Stop, John McCain, do not enter sacred land. This is Winslow knows it. You don't know, you should. These are the representatives from Arizona, the White Devils. Jeff Flake, John McCain, and Patrick. So I was asked to do some work in Paris as well. And I'll end with this video here.
It's our planet. They come tell us to move when they're destroying our planet.
The reality of climate change has become impossible to deny. Do you think this is part of a movement?
I think awareness is at an all-time high. I think the internet has a lot to do with it, but also increased climate events. People are seeing it, they're feeling it.
2015 was the hottest year on record. Global temperatures have increased by almost 1 degree Celsius over the last century. Weather patterns have become increasingly erratic. Ice caps are melting and our oceans are becoming warmer and more acidic. All the while, greenhouse gas emissions responsible for climate change continue to rise.
If we don't do something now, then we may not have a planet.
COP21 was the 21st global summit to address our planet's climate crisis. World leaders came to Paris with the intention of signing an agreement to lower global carbon emissions. People came to have their voices heard in the streets.
We know that this is a political process. And if you didn't have protesters in the streets, you will not get the pressure that we need to make politicians understand that governments never lead. People lead. Governments will then reluctantly follow.
You're not throwing yourself on the gears of compression, then it's not enough to recycle. It's not enough to do any of these small things. You actually have to get out there in the streets. Organize your community and build from that. That's what we're actually trying to do here. You want to get the artists involved first. Artists are the ones who actually make the images that people get behind.
Yeah.
And so throughout every social movement, throughout any revolutionary movement, we have artists that were actually paving that way. So we're going to roll with what we have and break the laws respectfully.
I'm from a tiny town called Newtown. It's located on what the United States government calls the Fort Berthold Reservation, where the Mandan, Hidatsa, Arikara nations.
The French government banned protests in Paris as a result of the terrorist attacks that occurred only weeks earlier.
If we don't disband, they're going to disband us by force.
America will reduce our emissions 26 to 28% below 2005 levels within 10 years from now. There are hundreds of billions of dollars ready to deploy to countries around the world if they get the signal that we mean business this time.
So that's a little bit about my Paris experience and stuff. I'm pretty much out of time right now, and if you guys have any questions, I believe our next speaker will be coming up and setting up, and I can answer any questions you guys have about this. So thank you for your time. I appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully you learned something today, and maybe you can go on and share this information as well. So I assume you guys are probably wondering what this is. This originally had this sign is John's side of it. Actually, an elephant was deployed at a GOP debate in Boulder. And so this was actually attached to this. And you had Donald Trump, you had everyone from the Republican Party. And this was actually put outside of the media trucks. And there's a whole piece about racism, privilege, things like that. And it was a message to white people. not in the sense of calling out. We want to call you in so that we can have these discussions and talk about the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is racism. You drill down a lot of these social issues, a lot of environmental issues, they come from racism. So we wanted to be able to convey that message in a creative way, using inflatable sculptures. Using inflatable sculptures is a way to get attention. If you weren't here before, this is all about street art. And so we had parked this right outside the media vans that were out there, and they asked me to move it. Of course, I said no. So it's kind of pretty much a little bit about the stuff that I do, and bringing these messages in a creative way to the general public. So that's what this is about, if you were wondering.